Simgiget Sigadam Hanap Kobawulsik. Before I begin, I'd just like to also recognize the territories we're meeting on today and thank the Walrus and Deloitte and Lauren for bringing us together again, and as well as Kaylin, who's on the floor there, who's done a lot of background work. As noted, my name is Neil Belanger, and I'm a member of the Lac-Sail clan of the Gitxsan Nation, and I work for Indigenous Disability Canada and the BC Aboriginal Network on Disability Society. So I'm going to veer off topic here for a second. I think about 7 years ago, I did a Walrus talk in Vancouver, and at that time, my daughter, I think, was in grade 3. And I asked the audience to participate with her because when you travel a lot, you don't get to see your kids. She's changed since that time. She used to call me dad. Now she calls me girl and bra. I don't know what any of that stuff means. So I say 6'7" to her, and she says, "Oh, Dad, what are you doing?" I don't know what 6'7" means, but anyways, so she's under the impression that somehow because I often have meetings with important people, such as the stage here, that somehow I have some influence, and I have none. But I need you to do me a favor here today. She's a big Billie Eilish fan, and she said to me, she keeps telling me, she goes, "Dad, can't you get her to call me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, yeah, I can do that." So what I need the audience here to do today in a loud voice is I'm going to film this, and then I'm going to put it on social media, and I just need you to say, "Hey, Billie Eilish, call Katie." That's all I need, okay? Say it, and say it in a loud voice when I give you the nod, and then we'll see if anything happens, and it'll be a good Walrus story as well. So when I give you the point, "Hey, Billie Eilish, call Katie."
Hey, Billie Eilish, call Katie.
Give her a call, Billie. Thank you for that. So I'm very pleased to be here tonight and to be able to join you in person and to have so many people online as well. As been noted, we know that NAW Week is coming up, May 31st to June 6th. A great time to celebrate the accomplishments of many organizations and persons with disabilities and the contributions that they bring to all of us across Canada. The theme for 2026 is Building a Strong, Accessible Canada. Additionally, in line with that, the spring economic statement that was tabled by the government is called Canada Strong for All. As such, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about our organization and some of the things that we do to try to make Canada strong, try to reduce some of the barriers that persons with disabilities, Indigenous peoples with disabilities face today. So our organization is internationally recognized and award-winning National Indigenous Disability Organization. We have offices in Victoria, British Columbia, and Ottawa as well. And one of our organizations that we share the office space with us tonight is Maureen Hahn from the Canadian Council on Rehabilitation and Work. We're happy to see her here today. Our organization holds special consultative status with the United Nations Council on Economic and Social Development, and was the lead secretariat organization working with over 55 other national disability organizations on Canada's second and third review, which was completed in March of last year. So through our organization, we work with thousands of individuals, families, and organizations annually, and we provide a variety of programs and services across Canada. Some of these include Indigenous Disability Case Management, where we assist to obtain the necessary disability health and social-related support. And this ranges from housing to adaptive technologies to education and transportation. We have a fairly new program called the National Indigenous Navigation Services, where we assist Indigenous individuals and families to access the benefits that they are entitled to. Those are provincial benefits, federal benefits, territorial benefits, ranging from PWD to Jordan's Principle. We also have a Jordan's Principle program where we work with eligible First Nations children and their family to ensure that they receive the services that they're entitled to without delay or denial due to jurisdictional disputes. In BC, we also adjudicate persons with disability applications within the majority of First Nations. There's about 205 First Nations in BC. We adjudicate for about 197. We do national research projects and currently have 2 underway looking at accessible housing and also on Indigenous perspectives of disability. and we work with other partners on various other external projects from research as well. We work with Justice Canada to ensure that UNDRIP, the UN Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Persons, is incorporated to all the work that they do and the documents and strategic planning that go forward. And in 2015, we created Indigenous Disability Awareness Month because Indigenous disability is not a priority within any government across Canada. So to raise the profile, we created it in 2016. November is now recognized across Canada as Indigenous Disability Awareness Month, and 2026 marks the 12th anniversary. And this year as well, we're holding our biannual gathering, which brings people from across Canada to collaborate and learn on Indigenous disability issues. We also sit on approximately 30 advisory boards to governments and community organizations to ensure that the priorities and barriers of Indigenous peoples with disabilities are known and to assist in eliminating the barriers within current systems. All the work that we do, all the work that our team does is to assist people we serve to have a better life. A life where their needs and their priorities and barriers are addressed, and where they're better enabled to be active and included members of their communities in the ways that they desire. And I think as an Indigenous disability service provider, I think the services that we do are pretty good. I think that our staff do really good work. As a country, though, when we think about the direction we're going, and we think about the Accessible Canada Act, for example, and with the promise or the hope to be barrier-free by 2040, and a Canada Strong for All, as the Spring Economic Statement noted, I think that for persons with disability, we are going to be largely continue to be wanting. While within the current or the spring economic, the spring budget, there was some movement with the disability tax credit where they added a few more categories and a few more people that could do it. It largely bypassed the needs of Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples with disability, which represent over 27% of our population. Today across Canada as well, we see an exponential growth in anti-Indigenous racism and disability discrimination, largely due to our relations with our neighbors to the south, but also other things are happening, like in BC with the Calvin case and that type of thing, where misinformation becomes reality and reality turns into, discrimination and isolation. Costs and barriers continue to increase for the necessities of daily living, including food, shelter, transportation, access to necessary health and disability services. Seeing no meaningful increases to federal, provincial, and territorial disability benefits and services to address this reality for a long time. And surprisingly, up to $2.66 a day for those eligible for the Canada Disability Benefit has not pulled persons out of poverty. And in some cases, provinces are even clawing that back. First Nations are exempted from the Accessible Canada Act and are going to be exempted until 2033. The governments of Canada, despite receiving recommendations 14 months ago in relation to the CRPD, have yet to address any of those recommendations publicly and has no plans to do so anytime in the future. There are a plethora of other barriers and inadequacies that continue to leave many peoples and families in frustration, isolation, and desperation, with too many considering medical assistance in line track 2 as an escape from this suffering. Suffering that could be alleviated if adequate, timely, and relevant supports were in place. Governments will often note that to address these system deficits would be too costly, or that change takes time, or we would hope to do better tomorrow. But tomorrow never seems to come. And persons with disabilities can continue to be asked to do more with less and to be grateful with what they have. Moving forward, we need allies in government. We lost a lot during the last federal election. We lost a lot provincially as well. We need the disability community to come together. We need to show that Canada and beyond, that persons with disabilities are key and indispensable players that have already made and continue to make Canada strong. And that with new and adequate supports and services, doors that have never been opened would be unlocked, and opening new realms of possibility. And truly, that would make us a strong nation. Amia, thank you. Have a good evening.